What's up, everyone? My name is Blue, and we are back with some more ProRevenge stories. These people are serving up just the icy coldest of dishes. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. And with that, let's get into it. Bakery had my mom's car towed, so I got the business closed down. This happened about 8 years ago, 2013. And when I tell people the story, I get mixed reactions, so I figure, why not tell Reddit? My mom and I decided to go out to lunch one day. We drove until we found a lot that's business did not appear to be open at the time. My mom pulls into the lot and parks in a spot. We both walk over and investigate the business's window. It was a pastry shop for purposes later in the story. The lights are not on, the door is locked, and there is a sign that says closed right behind the door. We conclude they are closed and went to eat our lunch. We finish eating about a little over an hour later and come back to find out our car was missing, but now the bakery was open. My mom and I walk inside of the bakery and ask if they had seen our car. The owner, with a very stern tone and attitude, said, "Yeah, I had it towed because it was taking up spots for potential customers. You should have come inside to ask me first." My mom responds that we did attempt to see if she was open, and even buy something to see if we could park there for an hour or so. She calls us liars and said she had been open all day and we never attempted to ask. My mom just basically said we tried and that it was wrong for her to tow us with so many other spots still available. The owner said something back to my mom that really upset her and made her cry. All while this was going on, I was taking mental notes that this bakery/pastry shop was having ventilation and insulation work being done. The insulation worker, who I can only assume was a random contractor and not a specialist, was doing the work right over the prep table for the food, all while smoking a cigarette. As I go to console my mom, I turn around and tell the lady her sign still says closed like when we originally came to the door. She storms up to me, picks up the sign, and slams it around to open. "We are open now!" I calmed my mom down, and we eventually got the car back from the tow company and got home. Once we got home, I was angry that lady made my mom cry, so I wanted revenge. I called the health department for the city. I say exactly what I wrote above to the guy on the phone, who puts me on hold and tells me to repeat everything I said, word for word, to his director. I tell the director the story, nothing about the car being towed, obviously. I was a concerned citizen. She verifies the address and location with me 3 separate times. Yes, the name was X. Yes, it was across the street from this restaurant on this street. She then tells me that she shut down that business the week prior for plumbing issues, insulation, and multiple other infractions. She was told she could not be open and operate a business until the plumbing issue was fixed and approved. Told me she would handle it. Later that night on the news, that business was being shut down for good for all the infractions. And I could see my mom look so confused and happy at the same time. Like karma worked for her that quickly. Told my mom years later, and she loved it. I'll be honest, when I first read the title of this one, I was like, that seems like a bit much for having a car towed. But as the story unfolds and you find out that this bakery probably shouldn't be open at all for the good of mankind, everything seems to have worked out as it should have. And the best part of the whole thing is that if that bakery owner had just been like, there's other spots. Maybe I'll only tow it if the lot fills up and I absolutely need the space. If that bakery owner had just been a little bit more, conscientious, none of this would have happened. They probably could have gotten the thing fixed and still been open for business. Although, for the neighborhood that would shop there, I feel like that's ultimately a bad thing. But, you get what I'm saying, right? Right. Let's move on. When a contractor made my mom cry, I decided to take action. This was about 10 years ago or so. My mom used to be an avid gardener. She was next level. She would aerate her lawn by hand with a fork. The gardening was an important distraction for her and a huge source of pride. The front of her house was simply gorgeous, with flowers and the most beautiful thick green lawn you have ever seen. In any case, she had a pipe burst under her lawn, and the home builder was responsible for fixing the pipe. They absolutely tore up her lawn. It was insane, but she understood. They told her they would fix it all. The fix was a disgrace. They replaced the lawn in the most haphazard, lumpy fashion you could imagine. It was a disgrace and left her really upset. It would have been laughable if she wasn't so broken up over it. It was truly ridiculous and made the property look truly hideous. When my mom, who has an accent, phoned the home builder to complain, she was told she could go back to insert home country here if she didn't like it. This left my mom in tears, especially since she'd been a citizen for 20 years at that point. That's when I snapped. You make my mom cry, and you will be sorry. I very calmly phoned the home builder. I explained that I was very excited that he was so proud of the lawn they had replaced. I was so excited, in fact, that I had a big professional sign made up that said, "This lawn is courtesy of insert home builder company name here." The sign was up for one day before the entire lawn was replaced to absolute perfection. Nothing'll kill a contractor's business faster than their name in front of shoddy workmanship. You're driving by, you see the name, you see that the lawn is just absolute garbage, you immediately go somewhere else. That's just a brilliant move on this poster's part. Well done. And that's all the time we have today for these ProRevenge stories. If you liked any of the stories, make sure to click that like button. And if you have anything to say about them, let us know in the comments down below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss out on any more stories. Thanks for listening, everyone. Catch you later.